guys! About a month ago, my laptop fan started making a really loud noise. So I decided to go online and follow a tutorial about how to open the back of the laptop and clean the fan. My entire life is on this laptop, so it was a nail-biting experience. Attempting my first home laptop repair. This is crazy. There's actually lumps of dust inside my computer, so I'm going to give it a proper little clean. This is crazy. Yeah, it's this fan on the side that's having trouble, and look at all of this. So I'm going to use some tweezers and a very light little brush to do that without touching any of the electronics. Honestly, this laptop is my life, so I really need to make it work. I've got this little screen cleaning brush. Oh, dear me. That should be soft enough. Start by picking out all the dust. Wow. Cat hair and dust over the years. I'm actually surprised there isn't more. I managed to remove half a cat's worth of hair from the back of the laptop, and this appeared to have done the trick. I was well proud of myself. Unfortunately... Hi guys! I'm back. So, it turns out that cleaning the fan worked for a couple of days, but unfortunately that wasn't actually the problem. What it appears to be is that the Nitro Acer gaming laptops, their fans, the bearings tend to go after about 3 to 5 years. This is about 3 years now, and it's been difficult the past few weeks. It's been really difficult. It's been drilling a hole in my brain. You know, I am chronically online and I'm editing all the time. I'm doing lots of different things. Sometimes I'm just playing games and it's just like this in my head the entire time. So what I'm doing today, welcome to my nightmare, is I am going to try and replace the fans myself. I have found a brilliant video online by a guy called Computer Specialist, and I ordered a set of fans, GPU, CPU fans, on AliExpress. They arrived really quickly. So here are the new fans, and I ordered some thermal putty. So apparently what thermal putty is, there's some cavities underneath the fans, and if there's just air in there, then air heats up really quickly and that increases the heat of your laptop or your computer. So you fill up those gaps with thermal putty and that should reduce the temperature. It's quite entertaining because the thermal putty arrived with a tiny little spatula and these tiny little things that look like miniature condoms. I don't know what they're for. I think they go on your finger. I think they're finger condoms. So that when you're messing around in there, you're not getting grease and oil on anything. Actually, you know what? Providing these don't fall apart, these would be awesome for a piano job that I need to do, because I need to restring a piano soon, and you shouldn't touch strings on a piano with your fingers because the salt from your sweat and the oils, it can corrode the wires in the piano. So that would be quite useful. Right, I'm terrified. Let me show you my setup. I thought about backing everything up, but I faced a problem. I don't have enough storage. So I've got a lot of stuff on my laptop that I've got a big problem if I lose it. But my thinking here, and Computer Specialists, tell me if I'm wrong below, but my thinking here is that the storage on the laptop isn't in danger. I'm replacing the fans. If I accidentally slip and I totally fuck up and I destroy the motherboard, that shouldn't affect the storage drives, which I should then be able to just take out of the laptop and recover what I need. But the thing is as well, I don't have another laptop that could even come close to dealing with the amount of stuff on those drives. You know, this is the only laptop I have that can edit. So it's a bit risky for me to try this, but I have to give it a go because eventually that fan's gonna fail. And I need to fix it before it does any damage. So I've got 2 SSD solid state drives in that laptop. So they're a little bit harder to completely destroy than the mechanical hard drives. So yeah, if I completely fuck up and it doesn't start again, then hopefully the material on there is retrievable when I manage to get another laptop that can deal with this. I'm hoping it's going to go smoothly. I'm going to follow the instructions. I've already watched the video through once. I've got an old laptop that I just use for watching videos, and I'm going to watch it through and just follow the instructions and wish me luck. Kigali, if you hear us scream like "ah!" in about an hour's time, that is me realising that my laptop is never going to start again. Here we go. So my lovely housekeeper was here yesterday, and that desk is looking cleaner than it's ever looked before in my life. So this is my setup for the day. This is an incredibly ancient old HP laptop. Hats off to HP. There is no reason on earth that this laptop should still be functioning. It's got to be almost 2 decades old now. And it doesn't malfunction. It's a little bit slow, but it still works really well. Well, actually, the keyboard doesn't work, so I have a plug-in keyboard for that. But I'm going to watch the video on that, and I'm going to operate on this little dude here. And here I've got my CPU, GPU fans. Here I've got my putty and the little finger condoms. And over here, I've got my little set of screwdrivers. My dad gave me these years ago, and I've never needed them till this year. So clearly he had a premonition. This I learnt from the guy in the video, computer specialist, is he was using an ice cube tray to keep the screws in, which I thought was absolute genius. I don't know why I've never thought of that before. Some chewing gum to kind of keep my nerve. And of course my inhaler, in case I end up having a freaking panic attack. I'm not looking forward to this, I'm really not. So this is the sound it's making now. Hopefully it won't be making it when it wakes up. So all right, darling, I'm going to put you to sleep for a minute. See you when you wake up. Whew. Let's load up that video. Never throw away old laptops. Same with phones. You never know when something's going to be useful. Okay, so the HP is really slow to load up. So whilst it's doing that, I'm going to take the screws out the back of the laptop. So I did this before when I was cleaning it, so that's cool. Honestly, this ice tray idea is genius. I don't know why I never thought about that before. You can just put all the screws of the same size in one cube. And just before I forget, one other thing he said that you need is alcohol swabs. And the only place I've got those is this bulk batch of home malaria test kits. Now, as I'm not planning on having malaria anytime soon, I'm going to pilfer the alcohol swabs because you need these to remove the old thermal putty. So let's take a few of those. All right, I've loaded up the video. Yeah, this video today isn't really to teach you step by step. You can go to that video for that. But this video, I'm making it to document my terror and also, if it works, hopefully to give other people a little bit of confidence that you can deal with this yourself. Okay, so I know that I said you could put all the screws that are the same size in the same cube, but having worked on pianos, I do know that every now and again, screws fit better in the hole that they came out of. So all of the 3 across the top I've put in here, the 3 in the middle, then there was 1 on the side and 3 at the bottom. So now I know exactly which holes they came out of, providing I don't drop that on the floor, which I could do. I am quite clumsy. And away we go. Oh, there's 4. There's 4 on the bottom. I missed that one. All right, this is actually quite a tricky bit, is getting the back of it off. It's not so easy. They're very, very tightly put on, but as I've taken this off once before, there we go. Yeah, the first time you ever do that is really difficult, but because I've done it before, it comes off a bit more easily. Here's the problem child. That's my CPU fan, I believe. That's the one making the noise. I think that one's the GPU over here. It looks slightly different to the model in the video, but I'm assuming it's all pretty similar stuff. The most important thing of all is not to touch anything on the motherboard. So anything on the blue, the green, you know, you don't want to be touching that stuff because it's all very delicate. And if you displace anything, that could be the end. But this big bulking load of fan at the back there is what I'm aiming to replace. Let's see how it goes. I'm going to be taking this incredibly slowly. Not going to be rushing anything. Okay, so this bit terrifies me. There are a few bits that terrify me. This is the first bit, is disconnecting the battery, because I didn't do that the first time around, and I used some tweezers to get the cat hair out and I accidentally caused it to spark. I didn't know it could do that, but also taking the battery out, I don't know, it looks very fiddly because all of the connectors are really, really tiny. They've got these miniature little pins, and some of them are very close to bits on the motherboard. You know, if you slip, it's not going to be good. But I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to follow his advice and see if we can do this.
So the battery is a connector right here. I recommend using a plastic spudget, and you just basically slide it back towards you and pop the battery out.
Okay, so to disconnect the battery, I need to slide this bit back.
And I'm going to just put that in the corner. And I'm just going to pop that out. Just like that.
Okay, so I was trying to disconnect the wrong thing. That's got nothing to do with it. I need to undo this, and he was using a flathead screwdriver and it wasn't electrocuting him. So I assume, I can do the same thing. Look! It does, it just, oh, it comes backwards. Oh, struggling a little bit. This isn't so easy. Taking a minute. We're doing it real slow. It's definitely coming. Oh, I really need to stop doing that. That was terrifying. Okay, so that's the battery disconnected. So now I should not be able to electrocute myself. I did it. This is the fan from my computer. Wow, that pink stuff there is the thermal putty, and I can see down there where it's supposed to go. It's not looking in the best shape. And I've just opened this. This is the thermal putty. I thought it was a full pot, but there's only a little bit in there. It looks like chewing gum. And it smells like board marker a little bit. So I hope we've got enough. I have got an amazing rush of satisfaction there. So let's start the cleanup operation. So I'm just going to dust this off. The other side. Ooh, lots of dust. I just will give it a very good dusting down whilst I'm in here. Okay, so something I've just learned is that thermal putty makes up part of it. It's really weird, it's squishy, it's just like chewing gum. But then there's also thermal pads. So a different type of material. So I have thermal putty, but I don't have pads, and I've no idea what the grey stuff is. I think I'm going to sort out the putty today, replace these ones because they're not looking great. You can see there where they contact, but I think I might need to order some thermal pads. I am not feeling confident about this at all, but in for a penny, in for a pound. Right, time to rubber up. Let's go. Okay, so I can confirm that thermal putty is a freaking nightmare. This stuff is, oh my goodness me, wow, wow. So I've discovered that the trick to it is to put a dollop on and then just use your finger to sort of pop, 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 just pat it down into the area. But it's horrific. It sticks to everything. It's dreadful. It's kind of like icing a cake, but I'm amazed that this is considered the best substance for this job. I swear though, these little finger condoms are the most amazing things in the world. Like, this would be impossible without them. But I think I've done an okay job. I think that looks good. Okay, so I discovered I had an old bottle of medical alcohol hanging around, which is sort of the same stuff that they put in the swabs, and that has allowed me to use a Q-tip to just really tidy up these two heat pads here, which I'm fairly certain connect to these two pads here that I've put the putty in. I think I need to just do up to the edge there a bit better, but I think that's going to go together very nicely. The bit I'm not so sure about is this grey stuff here. I don't know what it is, but it seems to be like a very, very thin form of the putty. So I'm maybe just going to tidy it up a bit and smear a tiny bit of putty across it. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but it seems to be going okay. I'm feeling okay about it, but I have to admit I do not like this stuff. It's really hard work. It's satisfying when it's done. I mean, I feel really satisfied by that, but I don't know, it's not an easy substance to work with. So there's a bit here that has literally turned into blusher powder, and the guy was saying if it turns sort of cracked and powdery, then it needs replacing. It literally looks like blusher powder. Really weird. Okay guys, my first ever time replacing thermal putty. I've done the neatest job I can. I'm a little bit worried about that grey stuff and replacing it with the pink. I've only put a very, very thin layer on, but I worry it's too thick. I don't know, we're gonna find out. Now to replace the fans. Minor issue, but the tutorial video has got a slightly different fan setup. There appears to be two types of Acer, one where it's apart like this and one where the two fans are together. So I think I'm on my own, but it looks quite logical. It seems like they are just taped inside, which seems a bit weird. It literally all seems to be stuck together with sticky tape. So So far we've got chewing gum and sticky tape, and that's what makes the laptop. So okay, let's see. So I assume I just replace that with that, which means taking off the sticky tape. Do this as carefully as possible. What's on the other side? I don't know. Not too sure what I'm doing here, to be honest. This is crazy. Literally just taped in there. Well, that was easy. My goodness. Huh. Metal side down like that. Slots in here like this, I think. Yes. Slots in like this. And it's just got these little plastic tabs on here. And you take the plastic tab off. And you stick it on. And that appears to be it. I mean, is it really that easy? Feels a bit too simple. These are a total nightmare. They've got like these tiny little clips on them, and they are almost impossible to get in there and stay in there. Really difficult. Like tiny little poppers. Struggling so hard. I think I finally got them. Nobody breathe. Don't breathe on anything. Don't touch anything. There was a bit of protective tape over that originally, but it's not there anymore. The guy in the video used a bit of duct tape, but I think I'll leave it for now. Now to put the screws in and connect the battery. I was just putting the battery back in when I noticed this had popped back out again. Honestly, they're the crappiest design for anything I've ever seen. Far too small to work properly. They just don't stay connected. And they're so small, you're just worried about damaging them. Right, reconnecting the battery, part 2. I'm very nervous. There's bits absolutely everywhere that you must not touch. It's time to find out whether or not I did or not. There we go. Battery reconnected. Alright guys, moment of truth. I've put everything back together and plugged the power in. Let's see how it goes. Let's see if it starts. Or whether or not I've just made a really expensive mistake. Whew, to say that I'm nervous is an understatement. All right, hit the power. Let's see what happens. Well, it's starting. That's a good start. Okay. And it's silent. The fan by this point would usually be making a massive noise. But the test of this is going to be to boot up Nitro Sense and check the temperatures and to check that both fans are working, because it could be silent because they're not working. Look, both sensors are going. The GPU and the CPU sensor is working straight off. Let's ramp it up and see. Listen to that. Listen to that. Both fans running on max. Quiet as you like. Oh my goodness. I am so happy. I am so happy. So there we go. My first ever attempt at replacing laptop fans. And look at that, the thermal pads are working. It's down at 39 degrees, whereas before it was running high. It was running at 50 something. The putty is important, people. Chewing gum and sticky tape, that's what you need to fix a laptop. So there we have it, guys. Thank you so much to the giants whose shoulders I stood upon to do this. I will leave the links to all the videos that helped me below. But I just think it's incredible that you can just look something up online, order whatever you need off Ali, and fix it at home. So that's probably saved me, you know, a good 50 odd quid doing that at home. And not only has it solved the fan noise, but it's also lowered the temperature, so things are going to run a lot quicker. Rendering videos is going to be a bit faster, playing games is going to be a bit easier. So yeah, I mean, it was a risk. There was a very high chance I could have screwed that up monumentally. It could have ended really badly. It could have been a very expensive mistake, but it wasn't. And I think it is important to test your mental capabilities every now and again. You know, test yourself, check that you can follow instructions. And yeah, because I'm feeling well proud of myself right now. A couple of weeks ago, I knew nothing about computers, and now I know how to clean the fans, replace thermal putty, replace fans, and it's not that difficult. And it was cheap. I mean, I don't know how good the parts are, but it was cheap. Fans cost me about $12, free shipping to Central Africa. And the putty was a bit more expensive. That was about $6 something, and then a couple of dollars postage, so about $8. So that cost me about $20 to repair my own laptop. I think I would have easily spent $80 to $100 taking it to the shop. But yeah, I'm just feeling really proud of myself. So let me know below something that you've done recently, that, you know, a new skill that you've learned or something you've done for the first time and left you feeling really kind of like, yeah, I can do this. Let me know what you did below, and I shall see you next time.